Sharanara Vinde Saratya Parashadan Sivanam Sakya Dautya Virasana no Gamanam Savanam Pranaman Snigeshu Pandushu Jaga Pranatim Sha Vishnu Bhaktim Karoti Nirpatish Sharanara Vinde. What about translation? Charatya, acceptance of the post of a chariot driver. Parashada, acceptance of the presidency in the assembly of the Rajasuya sacrifice. Sevana, engaging the mind constantly in the service of the Lord. Sakya, to think of the Lord as a friend. Dautya, acceptance of the post of the messenger. Vira asana, acceptance of the post of the watchman with a drawn sword at night. Anugamanam, following in the footsteps. Stavanam, offering of prayers. Pranaman, offering obeisances. Nigeshu, unto them who are malleable to the will of the Lord. Pandushu, unto the son of Pandu. Jaga, the universe. Pranatim, one who is obeyed. Cha and Vishnu of Vishnu. Bhaktim, devotion. Karoti, dust. Nirpati, the king. Sharanara Brinde, unto his lotus feet. Translation and purport by his divine grace about Charanara Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Maharaj Parishit add that out of his costless mercy, Lord Krishna, Vishnu, who is universally obeyed, render all kinds of service to the mineable sons of man by accepting posts ranging from chariot driver to president to messenger, friend, night watchman, etc. According to the will of the Pandavas, obeying them like a servant and offering obeisances like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaj Parishit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Purport. Lord Krishna is everything to the unalloyed devotees like the Pandavas. The Lord was for them the supreme Lord, the spiritual master, the worshipable deity, the guide, the chariot driver, the friend, the servant, the messenger, and everything they could conceive of. And thus the Lord also reciprocated the feelings of the Pandavas. Maharaj Parishit, as a pure devotee of the Lord, could appreciate the Lord's transcendental reciprocation of the feeling of his devotees. And thus he himself also was overwhelmed with the dealings of the Lord. Simply by appreciating the dealings of the Lord with his pure devotees, one can attain salvation. The Lord's dealing with his devotees appear to be ordinary human dealings, but one who knows them in truth becomes at once eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. The Pandavas were so malleable to the will of the Lord that they could sacrifice any amount of energy for the service of the Lord, and by such an unalloyed determination, they could source the Lord's mercy in any shape they desired. Hare Krishna. So this is a very interesting verse. Parishit Maharaj, hearing the glories of his fathers, his uncles, how they is in the family lineage, how they deal with Lord Krishna. This is very inspiring to him. And if we look at the verse, Lord Prabhupada is saying, the Lord is everything to the unalloyed devotee like the Pandavas. The Lord was for them the supreme Lord, the spiritual master, the worshipful deity, the guide, the chariot driver, the friend, the servant, messenger, and everything they could conceive of. This is a very special position for one to have the Lord to be everything. It's not cheap. For one to come to this stage also, like Prabhupada mentioned towards the end of the purport, he said, the Pandavas were so malleable to the will of the Lord that they could sacrifice any amount of energy for the service of the Lord. And by such an unalloyed determination, they could secure the Lord's mercy in any shape they desire. This is the price to pay. For you to get the Lord to be anything for you, you have to be ready also to surrender completely to the Lord. Full surrender, not 50%, not 75%, like most of us we are doing. Most of us we give 25%, 50%, 75%, but we never give 100%, because 100% surrendering is completely on a higher level. Although day to day we may discuss how we are devotee, we are Krishna devotee, and this is the condition I want for Krishna. I want to be in Krishna consciousnness. I don't want Krishna, I don't want this condition. As long as we're on that platform, that is not 100% surrendering. Yes, surrendering is a gradual process, and Krishna also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, according to how we surrender to him, we reciprocate accordingly. Yes, and we cannot force anybody to surrender completely. It's not possible. So, but the point of it is that we have to realize our situation and our own level, and we should be humble according to our level of surrendering to the Lord. And also, we should not try to look down on those people who have completely given up this material pursuit to complete 100% physically surrender to the Lord. Because if we are doing that, then we are disobeying the number first offense of chanting the only name of the Lord. What is that number one offense of chanting the only name? To
blaspheme devotees who have dedicated their lives.
For propagating of the only name of the Lord, to be. I will please finish it. Please finish it. I know what it means.
To blaspheme devotees of the Lord who have dedicated their lives to propagating the holy names of the Lord.
Yes, that is it. They have dedicated their life for propagating the only name of the Lord. To dedicate one's life to propagating the only name of the Lord is a complete surrender, because not everybody can do that. Not everybody. So that is why we have to be very careful with those devotees who have taken that step in completely surrendering to the will of the Lord. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's possible. We have to realize this. And that is why we can see, for such devotee, you can see Krishna is always with them in every step of their life. I remember one day, there was one devotee who came to Navina Nirada Prabhu. He came to West Africa to come and inspire us on book distribution. So I happens to be the temple president of Lagos that time. And at the same time, I was the leader of the Harinam Sankirtan, the traveling Harinam. So I was fortunate to be Sharotia, to drive him around the West African coast till Ivory Coast. Those days, my devotion was more of a kind of adventure, I just drive here, do arena. It was so wonderful. I wish those days could come back, very adventurous. So I was driving this, the Prabhu. So I remember when we drove from Nigeria to Ghana, because we went from Ghana to Benin. We did Harinam in Benin. Then from there to Togo. We did stay for a few days, Harinam. Then from Togo, we went to Ghana. And when we were in Ghana, we were doing Harinam. And we did Harinam in Ghana also. So when we were coming back from the Ghana Harinam, so the devotee who was driving the Ghana bus is very fast. So he was going ahead of us. So just before we reached there was one sharp corner, the city we went to do Harinam at that time. There was one sharp corner when we were coming back. So before we got to that sharp corner, I don't know what happened. Something just happened in the bus. Shivas Banachari Maharaj was sitting in that bus of that Ghana devotee. But I don't know what happened. Something happened in that bus, and they asked him to come and sit in my own bus. And immediately he sat in my own bus. As we were going, we were moving. Immediately we got to that sharp corner. The way the guy turned at that sharp corner, I knew what was going to happen. And before I reached the corner, when I got to that corner, before we look, we see the bus was on the ground. Because the way it turned at that corner, the car waved to one side. And you know how car is. Once it waved to one side, before you try to go back to the other side, before you know your side is on the ground. So that car was on the ground, bam. And devotees were upside down. Some devotees got bruises, glasses all over their body and everything. And the first thing we said that if Prabhu was in this bus, I don't think he will have been able to survive it. Because he's very old and his body is not as strong as those young devotees who are in that bus, who survived the situation. So himself was saying, yeah, if I had been in this bus, I don't think I would have survived this situation. But just Krishna's arrangement, I didn't know what happened. Somehow, he was always in that Ghana bus, but at that time, something happened. He has to come to my bus, the bus I was driving. And that was how he was able to escape that situation. This is what happened when one is fully surrendered to Krishna. You know, Krishna takes charge of your life at every step. Every situation that happens, Krishna takes charge of your life. So we can see in many cases like that, you know. And so that is what, when we're talking about total surrendering, yes, we talk about the Maharaj Parishit. We are talking about Maharaj Parishit. Now we talk about they are reading the glories of Maharaj Parishit of the Pandavas to the Maharaj Parishit. Sometimes also we should hear about some devotees who have set some exemplary act who are around us, so that, because one thing about hearing about glories of devotees or the Lord is that it will increase our faith to that particular devotee or to the Lord. And what I'm trying to say in essence is that we can see in every steps of the Pandava's life, he went through, you know, so much tribulations. Their fathers died at early age. Some of the other, they were supposed to be the inheritance to the kingdom. That was taken away from them. They were cheated, sent to the forest. So many other things happened. There was, during that period when there was that demon that was tormenting that village. And every time they make agreement with the village, made agreement with that demon that every year they will send somebody with food item to the demon. And the Pandava happens to be in that village at that time. So they sent Bhima, knowing that Bhima is very powerful, and he has been fasting for the years they are being incognito. He has been fasting because the Pandava will divide half of their food so that Bhima will be satisfied. That is the personality of Bhima, you know. You know, he's a voracious eater. So they have to divide. So that was a big festival day for him to go and deliver this food to this demon. So as he was going, he was enjoying the food. He was so happy. And the demon, as the demon saw him coming from afar, he was, who is this guy eating my food? What is wrong with him? So he was thinking that he would just grab Bhima and eat Bhima. And that was the end of that demon. So all these situations they passed through, even when they were sent to the forest, just to laugh at them. Just imagine, in this life, envy is very dangerous. Envy. When you are envious of someone, no matter whatever you have, still you will not be happy just seeing those things you have. You want to go and see how the other person is either suffering or what is now is accumulating more. You will not be satisfied with yourself. Even when they send them to the forest, the Kauravas, headed by Duryodhana, still have to go and set Armitage very close to where they are saying, so that he can monitor how they are suffering. He was not satisfied staying in the palace, even though they have given up all the palace, the kingdom to him now. Still, he was not happy. He was not satisfied there. He still want to go and stay in the forest to see how, because, and that is why we can say, sorry to say this, we can find some of this nature in Africans. The Africans, we love to make other people feel bad by flouting our own wealth. And that is why you see, we flout we try to show our wealth to others. We want to buy big cars, we want to build, beautiful mansions, so that we just see that we are doing okay. We love to flaunt to others. You see people, they want to do big parties. Why? To show off, so that other people will be feeling bad. See, this guy is very rich. Want to see that is the Jordan mentality. So like this, we can see that the Pandavas were protected in all circumstances they passed through. Why? Because they were completely surrendered to the Lord. And that is the importance of surrendering to the Lord. Although we might have not reached that level now, but that is the topmost level, to completely surrender our free will to the Lord. We should pray to the Lord so that one day we can come to that platform. We should not justify our situation and try to preach the philosophy surrounding our situation that we are okay. No, the aim is total surrendering to the Lord. That is the goal of life. We are not there yet. Yes, we are in the situation now that we have to live our life in a way that we have to still be Krishna consciousness and at the same time practice our other activities. But at the end of our life, that total surrender is inevitable. It's inevitable. We have to plan towards that. And that is the only way we can attain the perfection of the Lord. Jarma karma shame devyam evam yo betita twataha. Jakya dua punam jarma na iti ma iti suaduna. Jarma karma. Now, Parishit Maharaj is hearing about the activities of the Lord, and he's very inspired. He's very happy. Hearing the glories, how the Lord served the Pandavas. To be a charioteer, it's not a small job. To be a charioteer means you get a kick from the person riding the chariot. You get a kick. There's no chance for you to speak on the battlefield. Go left, go right. There's no such chance. You control your charioteer by sign. If I kick you on the right side, means you should go right. If I kick you on the left side, means you should go left. If I kick you on the central, means you should go straight. This is the sign the charioteer will get on the battlefield. It's not like go right, go left. No, nothing like that. There's a sign. So every time Arjuna wants to tell Krishna where to go, he must kick Krishna. So this is what it means when you surrender to Krishna. Krishna can take many service just to please you. He becomes the president of the Rajasuya sacrifice. We know all the pastime that happened during the Rajasuya sacrifice. How many people become very envious and angry and hateful of Krishna just because he was installed as the presiding deity of that sacrifice. People like Shushupa. He was abusing Krishna, he was cursing Krishna. Even though Krishna has already given him, when he was born, that I will only tolerate you for 100 curses. Once he's exceeded 100, you will get my Sudarshan chakra. So just saying that Krishna was installed as the president of that Rajasuya, his envy went uncontrollable. He went haywire and started calling Krishna all kinds of names, forgetting to count. Previously, we always be counting 1, 2, 3, 4. When he got to 99, we stop. But on this particular day, at that Rajasuya sacrifice, he forgot to count because the envy was so much. And the Pandavas, they did this just to please Krishna, not caring for what others may think in the assembly. Because why? They are totally surrendered to Krishna. How many times in our situation in the social world, we hide Krishna from others so that people will not talk against us. They will not talk down against us. They will not look down on us just because Krishna is not so popular. Or so many incidents that may make us want to hide Krishna in our social life. How many times do we do that? But the Pandavas in this situation, they don't care what Shishupala thinks, what Duryodhana thinks, what any of them thinks. They don't care. They know, only thing they know that is Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And we have to prove that. So they make Krishna the president of Rajasuya sacrifice. And Shishupal went uncontrollable on that particular day. And he got the repercussion. The head was cut off. So they are telling Parikshit Maharaj about all these glories of Krishna. How Krishna was there to just place. Another one is the messenger. He became a messenger. He has to go to and tell the Kauravas. He has to go as a peace envoy, ambassador. So the Kauravas, still Kauravas, especially Duryodhana, insulted Krishna. I call him all kinds of names. But he has to do this service for his devotees. We know the pastime also of Durvasa Muni. When the Duryodhana employed the service of Durvasa Muni to go to the forest, just at the point when the Pandavas would have finished taking, and especially Draupadi, would have finished taking a meal from that pot given by the sun god, so that they can be in trouble. But Krishna came to their rescue. This is what happened when we surrender to Krishna. He will always come to our rescue, no matter whatever happened in this world. I was discussing with one devotee today. I say, whether we like it or not, we read about this globalization in the scripture. How in the past, the king in India ruled the whole entire world. We may not understand how it is, but today we can clearly understand, we can have some glimpse of that. How the Americans rule the world. They control practically everything in the world. And that is why the whole world are very anxious. Who becomes the president of America? Very anxious. So when we hear this pastime is to tell us what happens in those days when the king in Bharat Russia ruled the world. When we have those powerful kings in Bharat Russia and they were ruling the whole world. Similarly also, the same thing is happening today because the world has become a global village now. And that's why Prabhupada was a very wonderful visionary leader. He was a leader who has a great vision. He warned us about what is going to happen in this world. He warned us so much. We should create our own community. And the more we devotees start taking this serious, the more we will be escaped from the future calamities that Kali Yoga is going to plunge us into. Because there is going to be much more calamity coming because of these demoniac leaders we have. Prabhupada was always telling us we should have our own community where we can grow our own food. Now we can see how the globalization is affecting every part of the world. If there's any problem in any part of the world, every part of the world is feeling it. Now the war in Ukraine and Russia, Russia is affecting the economy of everywhere in the world. Everywhere. The Europe, they are smelling it now. Because the world becomes so interdependent on each other, become a global village. So we were discussing with that devotee that, see, when a particular leader is leading, and this is the third world war is looming, and the more devotees realize this and become more fired up in Harina Sankirtan to purify the energy of the world, the more, because now, after seeing who is the presiding over America, now the China also, they are taking their step, and they are threatening the person, the sovereignty that they are behind for long. And this thing will continue. And there's nothing anybody can do about it for now, because of whoever is leading and being the one who leading the world. So people with all these other countries who are always trying to show their own power based on who is really ruling, they will come up and show, I'm very powerful also. And I can do whatever I can do. You cannot do anything about it for now. At least for now, you cannot do anything about it. And I can get away with it. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that the whole world is becoming a global village. And the more we realize it as a devotee and start following what Prabhupada has instituted for us in ISKCON, the better for us to start having our own communities, so that when this struggling for powers to control the world we become uncontrollable, that the third world will come, devotees can go into their own villages and produce what they are going to eat, take care of themselves, chant their Hare Krishna mantra, and just depend on Krishna. Because things is going to become more difficult. Because now the world are going to find is not only on nuclear weapons. No, there's what we call economic war now. Things will become very difficult. Now, if, for instance, some countries are depending on a particular country for wheat, if those countries are sanctioned, they cannot get the wheat. So the earlier devotees realize all these things, the Prabhupada has foreseen in the future. And we start taking serious measures in putting things in place in our own communities, the better for us. Because at the end of the day, we are the one who's going to benefit. Prabhupada is with us in his instructions, but he has given this instruction for us for many years now. So it's now left for us who are living now, who are present in this situation where the Kali Yuga is waxing more rapidly because of people competing for supremacy. This supremacy will always be here in this material world. Everybody wants to compete. And that is why we are here. We want to dominate over me, I want to dominate over you. So we are not going to enjoy what was there during the time of Maharaj Parishit, trying to conquer Kali and chase Kali out of his kingdom, of the whole entire empire, the world. Now Kali has taken strong stay in our world. It has become part of our society. So we don't have kings like Parishit Maharaj around now, or Bharat Maharaj. So devotees have to create their own community so that they can create that Vaikuntha situation. So Krishna always there for devotees, but devotee has to be surrendered to the instruction of Krishna. Yes, we have to totally surrender. Sarva Dharma Parityaja, Mamekam Sharanavraj. Very, very important instruction from Krishna from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Sarva Dharma Parityaja, Mamekam Sharanavraj. Mamekam, only me. I'm to Asabababio, Moshayami, Moshayasmi, Masucha. Don't be afraid, don't fear, don't worry. I will be there to protect you. Krishna exhibited that in the situation of the Pandavas. He showed in every step of the Pandavas, he was there for them. Krishna said, Ma may come. Moksha Yasmi, Masucha, Matberu, Magboya. Don't be afraid. I will be there for you. But are we ready? Are we going to give up Sarva Dharma Parityaja? We're going to give up all the religions. In this situation, Krishna was talking about all the religions he has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva Dharma. He has talked about karma yoga. He has talked about dhyana yoga, Ashtanga. He has mentioned all those. Those are the religions that Krishna was referring to, which we can relate to it in our different levels. Are we going to give up our karma yoga and surrender to Krishna, or jnana yoga, speculative path, and surrender to Krishna? So this is the instruction from Krishna. And also he mentioned in chapter 4, Dharma karma shamedi. If you can understand about my activities, pastimes, Dharma karma, very, very important. That my activity, pastime are divine. Divine. The word divine is from divyam. Dharma karma shamedi divyam. Evam yo veti tatutha. If you know this to be truth, tatwaktaha, my dharma and karma, then you will come back to me. So when we hear about all these pastimes of Krishna with his pure devotees, to understand them is not very easy. We need faith. Some of us, we still think that Krishna is an Indian god. Faith is a very subtle thing. It's very subtle. Until you are tested, you will never know whether your faith is of the substance you think you are. Every one of us, we can come and preach, hey, Krishna is God, Krishna is God. Everybody can do that. But when you are tested, that is when your faith, the content of your faith will be showcased. It's not easy. Krishna is God, Krishna is God. Yes, we can all say that. And that is why we see that pastime in the Bible. Yeah? The Job story. He was tested. And our taste, we have to be tested if truly we believe. So we should be ready. By hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM every day, we are preparing ourselves for that ultimate test. It has to be tested, and it will. We have to understand this point. It will, our faith will be tested. We are hearing about the Pandavas' faith being tested in every step of their life. We think it's the Pandavas? No. Every day of our life, our faith is being tested. And that is why Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj said, we have to learn how to say Maya to Krishna, have to say no to Maya every day of our life. We are being tested every day. Are we saying yes to Krishna every day? Then the faith we accumulate, increase. Faith is like a drop of water. I always like to give this example. When a tap is leaking, I like this example because I always observe it in the temple. When I was in the temple, somebody will always spoil the tap. Somebody will always spoil the tap. So I got a lot of realization of the tap. We say the tap is leaking, and you will see the water will drop it. Pum, 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 pum. It looks like nothing in the morning. It looks like nothing is happening. It looks like nothing is happening. My brother, put a bucket there in the morning, and you go back there in the evening. You will know that that thing that look is nothing, at the end of the day is something. That is faith. We are hearing every day. You look as if nothing is happening. My brother, something is happening. That is why I say, Kintayantu Mam. Chant every day. Satatam, Satatam. Satatam means every day. Satatam means it can miss every hour. Satatam can miss every hour. Satatam can miss every day. Satatam can miss every now and then. But it must be steady. Satatam. Constant. It may look as though nothing is happening. Every day we come here, we listen, we laugh. Something is entering, my brother. It's just like that tap of water dropping, ping, ping, ping. It looks like nothing. Something is happening at the background. We just have to keep on going, keep listening, keep hearing. Just like Maharaj Parishit is hearing. Maharaj Parishit became overwhelmed with the devotion to the lotus of the Lord. By hearing, he became overwhelmed with the Lord. When he had the glories of the Lord, he became overwhelmed. So we have to give attentive hearing. As we are hearing every day, one day we'll become overwhelmed like Parishit Maharaj. So the faith will keep on building, building, building every day. So it's very important. We have to take note of this. Something is happening, and we have to keep on doing it. And every day we are being tested. Me, I cannot even deny it. I could see it physically. Sometimes I say no to Krishna, to Maya. Sometimes I say yes to Maya. I've been tested every day. I feel it. And whenever I say yes to Maya, I say, oh my God, if I know I would have said yes that time. I would have said yes to Krishna that time. Or why did I say yes to Maya? Oh, Krishna, I missed the opportunity to advance again. I feel it. And immediately I felt remorse. It's happening to us every day. We feel it. Sometimes there will be, should you go and chant or watch football? Then you'll be overwhelmed. Let me go and watch football. I will chant later. Now I can chant later. Maybe later you will not chant. So you have said yes to Maya and no to Krishna. You say, oh, I should go. Maybe I should now. Oh, I should read now. Or maybe I should just go and do something else. And you say, oh no, I will read later. Let me just go and do that. This thing it looks pressing now. Let me just. You have said no to Krishna and yes to Maya. So every day we are getting opportunity to say no to Maya and yes to Krishna every blessed day. Every day we are living our life. We are given this opportunity to say more yes to Krishna and no to Maya. Or we say more yes to Maya and no to Krishna. And this continues to accumulate our faith, depending on which one we are saying yes to and no to. We are saying yes to Maya more and more, then our faith will continue to doing until it fades away. But if we continue to say yes to Krishna, like now, some of us have decided to come and listen to this lecture. So we have, at this particular time of our day, we have said yes to Krishna, which we have many alternatives to say no to this lecture. It's practical. Every day of our life is a practical Krishna consciousness. We can see it. We can feel it. You can say yes to Krishna every day. You can say no to Krishna every day. You can say yes to Maya every day. Every activity you do, try to analyze it. Try to think deeply. It's either you are saying no to Krishna or you are saying yes to Maya. Let us analyze it very deeply. We can see it. We can feel it. That is why it's called Krishna consciousness. It's a conscious activities we have to take. So the more we give our time to Krishna, the more our faith we build, the more our faith will increase, and the more and more the faith will become solidified until one day you just say, Hare Krishna, and you start crying incessantly. You start missing Krishna. You start feeling separation from Krishna. Because why? With times, that drop of water has accumulated. And now the bucket has filled up. And now it's overflowing with love of God. You just say, Krishna, and you start crying. Krishna, I'm feeling you. I want to meet you. I want to be with you. Until we start feeling separation to Krishna, we have not, our faith has not reached the beam. Because now we are feeling comfortable with our material activity and we are justifying ourselves why we should do material activities. Yes, just because we don't have love Krishna with Krishna. But until that point where we start struggling to do material activity, meanwhile, we are in Krishna consciousness, in full Krishna consciousness. We are struggling to do material activities, which is very important. We have to do it. But we are struggling to do it and we continue to struggle to do it. But for now, we are struggling to do spiritual activity. That is the problem. That is the opposite. We are struggling to do spiritual activity. We are very comfortable with material activity. We are struggling to do spiritual activity. When it becomes opposite, we are struggling to do material activity, meanwhile we are fully Krishna conscious, then we have arrived. Then the result of hearing and chanting has been, become concrete in our life. It's a complete two different activities that we are struggling to do material activity and we are struggling to do spiritual activity. It's two different opposite poles. And the one we give more importance to, we desire will be the one that will be struggling. The one we do with ease. When we give more importance to our spiritual life, we'll be struggling with material life. And if we give more importance to material life, we'll be struggling with our spiritual life. And many of our trials have said it. Material life and spiritual life go ill together. There's no guessing about that. You cannot just hide it. Yes, we are in the material world. Yes, it's true, but the two of them, they are incompatible. So we should build our faith. We should hear about Krishna, just like Parishar Maharaj is hearing about Krishna. We should relish devotional service to the extent that we're struggling with our material activity. We will keep on doing it, but we are struggling with it. That would be the perfection of our life. So I would like to stop here to give chance for the devotees to ask questions and give their own input to today's topic. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much, Kavikarnapura Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you for class. I don't know if the noise is coming from your background.
Yeah, there's a noise in my background, but I'm just trying to manage it.
Oh, okay, all right. So devotees, thank you all for being here as usual. And if you may have a question or a comment, please do so by unmuting yourself and going ahead to speak. Okay. I was very much shocked as to what Prabhupada was saying in the pulpit. Yes, about how Krishna, the Supreme Lord, the Almighty Lord, will come to such a very, very humble, like menial level to serve his devotees. Like you were saying, Krishna being a charioteer does not only mean that it was just riding their horses, but he also had to clean the horses. He has to clean the cart that the horses were riding in. It's unbelievable. Now the question is, Krishna does that to his unalloyed devotees. And you were talking about 100%. Srila Prabhupada has also said that. Now, how do we as practicing devotees get to that level where we sell ourselves to Krishna to the point that Krishna also sells himself to us? Of course, it is said that when Krishna sells himself to his devotees, the devotees are not very happy. So if we are thinking we want to sell ourselves to Krishna so that we can manipulate Krishna, that is a very wrong step. But trying to do it in the right way, how do we cultivate this devotional service to the point that we sell ourselves to Krishna, 100%? How do we do that? Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Just like you rightly said, it's not easy to get Krishna to be your servant. And to do that means that you have completely surrendered to Krishna. So like it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, that is it Bhagavad Gita chapter? Let me just look for it. Is it chapter 1 minute? I'm trying to recollect this verse. Is it 728? Let me check. Yes, 27:28. Krishna mentions. Isham tu atam gatam papa gyanam punyam karmanam. So Krishna says in that verse that a person who have acted piously in previous life and is this life and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are free from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in the service with determination. So for you to completely surrender to Krishna, you have to engage in devotional service with full determination. And Krishna has given us the glimpse on how that determination comes. So it's a gradual process. Sometimes we think that we can jump. It doesn't work like that. Krishna says, yeah, person who have acted piously in previous life. So now let us continue to cultivate our pious life. Let us remain in devotional service. Just like sometimes when we hear the story of these great Vaishnavas in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we want to know who they were in their past life. Is it not? Oh, okay, Dhruva Maharaj was like this. Oh, Prahlad Maharaj was like this. We're very anxious to know. Although in the early days, the early devotees, they don't have that opportunity. And that's why you will see that their own devotional service was different. But when it now comes to our own, our generation, that we are hearing about all this, we become a little bit relaxed. Okay. Oh, Dhruva Maharaj did not make it in one lifetime. Okay, I should not be. I should relax myself. When we hear about Dhruva Maharaj, we hear about Prahlad Maharaj. Oh, okay. Prahlad Maharaj did not make it. Okay, it was almost getting it in the last life. So he was able to become Prahlad Maharaj. Okay. I'm not doing so bad. Let me just relax. Let me take some more coffee. Let me take some more coffee. Let me just take it gradually. So we become more relaxed, like the early devotees who were with Srila Prabhupada, who were not hearing all those previous life of devotees, who Prabhupada told them that they can make it in this lifetime, and they were pursuing that. And it's possible, and Prabhupada took a personal responsibility that he's going to do that for them. And because the word of the pure devotee is higher, is even greater than Krishna, and that greater than the Lord's words. And that is why the Lord told Arjuna to declare that his devotee never perishes. Krishna asked Arjuna to do that because he knows if he said that himself, he can go, on the other side and do something else, like he did in the situation of Arjuna on the battlefield. He knows he can always, break his promise to take care of his devotee. But if he asks his devotee to do that, if his devotee, say that on behalf of him, Krishna will keep to that promise. And that is why we should have more faith in the words of Srila Prabhupada. Krishna is telling us here that one who can completely surrender to him and be on this platform you are talking is someone who have cultivated a pious life in his previous life. And in this life also is continuing to be in that mood. Only that person can come to that level where he can completely surrender to Krishna. But if we follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada and 10% have faith in Srila Prabhupada that we can make it in this lifetime, and we surrender completely 100% to Krishna, then Prabhupada himself personally will make sure that we come to that level at the point of our life. So it's possible for us to achieve that perfection, even in this life, following the words of Srila Prabhupada, what Srila Prabhupada has said. Because Krishna doing nothing in Vaikuntha or in his spiritual world is doing nothing but to fulfill the desire of his devotee. Nothing else is doing, no. Is that he plays with his devotees or he's fulfilling the desire of the devotees? That is what he does. He doesn't do any other thing. So, like you asked rightly, Prabhu, that how can we come to the total surrender following the instruction of Srila Prabhupada? Let us surrender to our best capability. We know what surrender means. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given us some hints about total surrendering. 6 activities. Whatever is favorable to Krishna consciousness, accept it. Whatever is not favorable to Krishna consciousness, reject it. Is that how we are thinking? That is very, very important. Following those 6 parameters is very, very important in total surrendering. We should start thinking, is this thing good for my devotion? Accept. This is not good for my devotion? Reject. So our mind should start calculating in terms of accepting and rejecting. Sometimes we may have to be fanatics in this previous stage, in this early stage. Accepting and rejecting. On this stage, you have to be very fanatic sometimes, very strict. That's why you see Srila Prabhupada disciples, they are very strict because they believe that they can make it in this lifetime, many of them. And they hold on very strongly to Srila Prabhupada's instructions. They don't care about what Krishna is saying. So if we have such faith, we can make it. And a good example is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Maharaj. We all knew where he was going when he was leaving because he was saying Krishna. Oh, you have Krishna, you are here. He has gone. He's gone to Krishna because why? He has faith in Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, I will take you this lifetime. Only Prabhupada can do that. Krishna himself cannot do that. Krishna will only tell you that you have to purify yourself. Then gradually you come. That like what he said in this verse. Krishna can only give you that condition. But if you're devotee, they can push his instruction one side and say, no, you can come now. Krishna, I'm bringing him. It's just like when you know a president and you're very close to the president, you can jump all the protocols and take somebody directly to the president. That's what happened. So a pure devotee of the Lord can, like Srila Prabhupada, can give us that total surrendering even in this lifetime. Only if we follow his instruction 10%. We have to follow the instruction of Srila Prabhupada 10%. If we follow the instruction that Prabhupada has given us 10%, we can achieve that stage of reciprocating with Krishna even in this lifetime. That's what I can say about that. I don't know, maybe any other devotee have some other contribution for that.
Thank you so much for the answer, KAVIKARNAPURA. Thank you so much. Anyone else with something to share, to ask? Well, if I may ask evidence, I don't know if it's a question. I think it's both a question and
comment.
And a comment, I should say.
Please go ahead, Prabhu.
And that is, there is one key word in the verse itself, where it says that because the Pandavas were very malleable.
Malleable.
Yeah, the word malleable, that is very, very flexible. And as devotees of the Lord, I mean, Lord Chaitanya himself says that he is none of the Varanas. He does not belong to any of the Varanas or the Ashrams. No. And so when it is necessary to act as a Brahmin, a devotee will act as a Brahmin. When it becomes necessary to work as a Kshatriya, a devotee will work as a Kshatriya. When it becomes necessary to work as a Sudra, a devotee will accept such role. But we see that especially in devotional environment, there are certain people who they call themselves, they are very high, and so they will not do any service. They will not. There are certain services they will not do. Of course, we do not want to see, especially like our gurus, doing menial services. But as Krishna is giving us example here, like you beautifully discussed with us, KAVIKARNAPURA Prabhu, Krishna himself accepting the role of being a night watchman, not even a day, a night watchman. Now, when the Pandavas and the Kauravas, when the war is over for the day, Krishna is staying awake, making sure that the Kauravas do not sneak into the Pandavas to come and hear any strategy they're following. He's doing all these things, which is a very, very menial service. But we ask ourselves, how many times do we try to work in such mood? After we've called ourselves the leader of this, the leader of that, the leader of this, the leader of that. So that is one realization. And because the Pandavas were very malleable, Krishna was also very malleable, was very flexible. Whatever thing they needed, Krishna was ready to do it for them. Now, again, you were talking about the determination, and you were saying that it's constant practice. And like you also quoted what Krishna himself says, that is from a previous incarnation and what we're doing in this incarnation. And I really appreciated when you said, this is what Krishna has said, but this is what Srila Prabhupada is also saying, you know. So what Krishna says is not so easy to attain, but Srila Prabhupada is giving us a leeway. In fact, I just heard, I love Srila Prabhupada's memories. I was listening to Jayapataka Maharaj, and he was saying the same thing you were talking about. Srila Prabhupada always insisting on 100% devotional service to Krishna. And then at one point, he was going to give a lecture. So there was a big asana. So as he was climbing to sit on the asana, he turned and then he said to the devotees, if even you cannot perform 100% and you perform 90%, Krishna will still accept you. And then he turned again at the later on, he says 80. And then he went 70. And then he says 60, you know. So the 100% should not scare us. It used to scare me sometimes, you know, that I cannot. I wouldn't say I cannot, but I am not performing 100% devotional service. So what's my fate? But thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Even though Shri Krishna has said this, but Shri Prabhupada, being the pure devotee, is offering us something that Krishna himself wouldn't even offer to us.
Yes, Prabhu, and just to add to that, your contribution, you know, in this age, you know, we are very, very fortunate, Prabhu, to have what Srila Prabhupada has given us. We are very fortunate. Just look into the world, Prabhu. You are moving in the world around you. See how many people who are trying to be God conscious. You can count them. Many people just do lip service most of the times. But those who are truly trying to be God conscious, they're very countable. You can count them. Not easy. So Kali Yoga is working very strong on all of us. And there's nothing we can do, just like we said the other day. If it is winter, there's nothing you can do. The weather will be cold. The only thing you can just do is to wear a winter cloth. And this is devotional service. If it's raining, there's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is to get an umbrella. And the only name is the umbrella for us in Kali Yoga. So the situation of Kali Yoga, there's nothing we can do. I remember one day when I first joined the office I'm working with. So I was asked to work with one salesman. He's our marketing manager. He's supposed to be going back to India. So he was supposed to train me how to do marketing. So every day we go out, we talk so many things. We say, Kavi, can you come this night so that we can just go and chill out and drink, you know, and eat? You know that I'm not eating, just pulling my leg. You can go and drink and eat chicken and all these things. I said, no, I don't do this. You know, I don't do. He said, why are you suffering yourself? You know, why are you suffering yourself like this? You know, you see, let me tell you, that's your heaven. There's going to be scarce people there, you know. You know, in hell, we are people like us, we are going to be many, so we can do so much party there. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that when people look around in Kali Yoga, they easily comfort and condone themselves that everybody is committing sin. So I'm not different. And devotees also have to be very careful of this situation. I'm telling you, Prabhu, because that is how they console themselves. Oh, why should I be different? See, oh, this Prabhu, see this person. Oh, what? After all, he's a nice guy. See what he's doing. Oh, am I better than him? Oh, no, no, no. So we try to console ourselves with what is going on around us. And that is why we have to be very, very, very careful in the Kali Yoga, because Kali is waxing strong on us. All this, seeing all this comfort and trying to, be gentle. Oh, no, no. Are you so pure like Prabhupada? No, no, no. You should calm down, calm down. Take it easy, guy. It is our work of Kali Yoga. It's working on our brain. Just like we are going to hear from Parishit Maharaj, how even he has told him where to stay. He still managed to enter the crown of Parishit Maharaj. So this Kali is very trickish. He's always looking for how to enter us. And that is why, like I said earlier on, we have to be very careful every day that we are not saying yes to him. If not, every step of our life is either we are saying yes to him or we are saying no to him. So we have to be very, and that is why Prabhupada has named this movement International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Means every day we have to be consciously conscious of Krishna, not unconsciously conscious of Krishna. Many of us can be unconsciously conscious of Krishna, which will not play at the background of our mind at the end of the day. Because when you are consciously conscious of Krishna, at the end of the day, it will accumulate, like we said, like a drop of water. Then at that time, even when you are not strong, like King Kurachekara pray, so Krishna will even come, Prabhupada will come to help us. So what you have said is true, Prabhu. So we, in this age, we are holding on to Prabhupada's doti. Because without Prabhupada, I can imagine how the Kali Yoga will be whopping strong. We can see how he's whopping strong in the Christendom. We can see how he's whopping strong in the Islam. Everybody is just comforting themselves with the Kali, Everybody is, no, after all, who am I? Oh, it's okay now, gradually. Now prosperity has been grabbed so much inside the churches. I remember when I was growing up, when I was a small boy, they preach so much about heaven in the churches. Oh, you're going to heaven, you're going to heaven. But now, Prabhu, go to the churches. You will not hear anything about heaven. Oh, catch your prosperity now. Take it. Oh, our God is not poor God. You have to be. That is what. So Kali Yoga has entered them gradually. Now they are they are preaching comfort on earth. Oh, no, 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 no. You are a children of God. Your father owns everything. At least you have to enjoy it also. No, no, no. So you have to be rich. This is influence of Kali Yoga. It's very trickish. and he's just entering everywhere. So that is why what the Prabhupada has given us is a strong weapon against Kali. The chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the only thing that can protect us against Kali. And the hearing of SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM every day. So we have to consciously cultivate these spiritual activities in our life and build our faith gradually. If not, Prabhu, we just need to try, just like Arjuna was trying on the battlefield. Even though he could not conquer General Bhishma Deva, many great warriors like Karna, Dronacharya, he could not conquer them. But Krishna found a way for him. So similarly also, we just have to continue fighting the battle of Kurukshetra in our life. And there are some demons that are holding us down, that are not making us to completely surrender. Krishna will find a way. He will find a way for us to go around them. We should not worry. But most important thing is that we should follow the instruction of Krishna like Arjuna and continue to try. And that is the most important thing for us in Kali Yoga, because the Kali Yoga is very strong. Somebody can blame, if Bhishma Dev conquered Arjuna, nobody will blame Arjuna. If Dronacharya conquered Arjuna, nobody will blame Arjuna, because we know these personalities. Bhishma Dev even conquered his guru, Parashuram, who is the Supreme Lord. He conquered him. So who is Arjuna to conquer Bhishma Dev? But Arjuna cannot try it. But Krishna already made a plan for him in the future. in past to enter the future, how it's going to go around Bhishmadev. Krishna is the one who has made all this plan. So similarly, also there are some insurmountable attachment, obstacles on the part of our spiritual life. We should not worry. Krishna will, as long as we are sincere and we are steady in our practice, Krishna will find a way for us to go around them. We should not worry. Most important is to stick to this practice, this path, and continue to try our best. Most important thing is trying our best. Once we continue to try our best, we should not worry. Krishna is going to find a way for us. It's 100% sure. Prabhupada promised this. We should just continue. So thank you, Prabhu, for your contribution.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Anyone else with something to share before we bring the class to a close? See, when I read the text, I thought I would be shedding tears. I thought I would be crying. I did not cry. And
Why you want to cry, Prabhu?
Yeah, I don't know about the other devotees listening to this class, but I thought I would be crying because, it's the same scenario where a guru asked his illiterate disciple to study the Bhagavad Gita. And she didn't even know how to read the Bhagavad Gita. She had it upside down. But she saw this photo where Shri Krishna had become the charioteer of Arjuna.
Yeah.
And she started shedding tears. And when the Lord Chaitanya met her and asked her, what's making you cry? He says, how can my Lord be doing what he's doing? And Lord Chaitanya said, you are the real devotee.
Yeah.
So I was using a litmus test of myself to see. And I realized that I'm not a real devotee because I did not cry. I don't know about other devotees. Maybe other devotees are crying.
That is not it. That is not the case. No, the one thing about like what you are saying now, like what you are saying, it has to do with internalizing.
Yeah.
After a long time. Like there's this example of Mukunda taking Gadadhara to see Pundarika Vidyanidhi. When they got there, Gadadhara Pandit was looking externally at Pundarika and he was committing offenses in the mind. So see this guy, says enjoyer. Why did Mukunda bring me to this guy? What do you want me to see about this guy? And that is why we have to be very careful about how we deal with devotees. Externally, we may not know the internal depth of a devotee. And that is why I always advise devotees that, based on my own realization, although, yes, based on how I've realized it, at the end of the day, our relationship is between Sahadev and Krishna, KAVIKARNAPURA and Krishna. When we are being judged, there's nobody who will come in between. It's just between us and Krishna, Prabhu. Because at the end of the day, when we hear about all these devotees, it's just about their direct relationship with Krishna. Every other person has a role to play in order for us to increase our intimacy with Krishna. That is just all what is playing. Every other person at the background is just like when you are missing some chemical, they are like addictives to bring the information you are looking for. The main thing is our relationship with Krishna. So when Ganadhara Pandit was making this offense in his mind, Mukunda saw that as a pure devotee also. The way Ganadhara was looking at him, he could realize that he's making some offenses. He chanted that shloka in Canto 3 of SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM about how merciful Krishna was to Pundarika Vidyanidhi, to Putana. And immediately, Pundarika Vidyanidhi had these glories of Krishna. How he merciful, it was to Putana, who came to kill him. But in return, Krishna took her to be a nurse who has come to offer her breast for him to suck the milk. And Krishna gave Putana liberation to become one of her, to become one of his nurses in the spiritual world. Just hearing these glories sang in the SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, Canto 3, Pudarika Vidyanidhi went into ecstasy and he forgot the external world. So what am I trying to say in essence here? There is a level of consciousness. Our consciousness, like is mentioned in Shishastakam, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. There's so much impurity in our consciousness now. But there's a level we will reach. There's a level we will reach. Our level will be, our consciousness will become clear, crystal clear like a mirror. And when I'm saying like a mirror, now I will now replace that mirror with television. There's a step we will reach in our purity. When we recite a particular pastime, one verse of Krishna in the SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, immediately we not only that we are realizing the pastime, but we are seeing the pastime. This pastime will become motion like a TV, like what is happening in the television you are watching. That was what that man who was looking at the picture of Krishna driving Arjuna, that is what he was observing in his heart. That was why he could shed tears. Not only that he was just seeing the picture or he reading it, but immediately he saw that picture, he became activated in his heart. He could see what was happening on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That how can the Supreme Lord become so humble that he become a charioteer of his devotee and he will be kicking him at his back? Doing this, all these things, those things become clear to him. He could see it. Just like Pundarika Vidyanidhi, when he had that pastime of Putana, not only that he's hearing it, he could see that pastime of the mercy of Krishna. He could see beyond what that pastime was saying. It became motion. That is why when you read the commentary of Vishwanatha Chakravarti or the six Goswamis, when you read some of their books, you see them, they will pick a verse and they will start narrating what they are seeing in their heart. Just like I will give an example of Vishwanatha Chakravarti. If you read the commentary of Vishwanatha Chakravarti on the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, you will see that he's not writing based on what he has heard from somewhere. He's writing based on what he's seen by reading the verse. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that there's a level of purity we come when we hear about the pastime of Krishna. We don't see the text. We don't just only hear, but those texts become motion in our heart that we start seeing that pastime. It becomes like a window that connects us to Krishna, that we start seeing what is going on in the spiritual world. Just like somebody we ask, how did Vyasadeva was able to document all the Vedas? Very simple. It's very simple. How? The technologies of this age has shown us how that is possible. Now, I can sit in my house and watch what is happening live in America, in China, in Asia, in any part of the world, whatever I want to watch. I can tune any channel in my TV and watch them. And anyone I feel that is interesting to me, I can write it down or I record it. That is what Vyasadeva did. Vyasadeva is a personality who is literally incarnation of Krishna. He can sit down and think of all the pastime of Krishna based on what is going on, where is going on, and what is going on in any part of the world. Is it not the same Vyasadeva who gave the same vision to Sanjay to be able to see what is going on in the battlefield of Kurukshetra? So if somebody can give somebody that kind of vision, he himself can see much higher than that. So for him, he can just sit down and peruse through all the channels of Krishna pastime going on. And I felt, okay, this one will encourage the condition so. okay, this one we encourage the condition so, this one we encourage the condition so, and he brought all these things together for us in form of Puranas and SRIMAD Bhagavatam and all these things, and that is what we are reading today. It's the same. There's no different. The mind of great sages who are very pure, they can see beyond where they are sitting. That is clairvoyance. They can see. But because we have become so conditioned, so impure, we don't know how this thing can take place. And that is our own problem. So all these things, they are practical, that when we become so pure, when we read this Krishna book, and that is why as we are reading it, we may not be crying now, but the more we become pure as we are reading it, there's a stage we will reach. When we read it, we start crying, just like Gadadhara Pandit was crying, that he almost cleaned all the SRIMAD Bhagavatam verses he was reading. Because why? As he's reading it, he will be seeing it. As he's reading it, he will be seeing it. So he will be feeling it. And that is the difference between them and us. And we can all of us can come to that platform, but it's a gradual process of purification. Sheto Darpana. We have to we have to learn to fix our mind on Krishna first. That is the beginning. When we learn to fix our mind on Krishna without not removing it for a second, that is the beginning. When we chant Hare Krishna, we see Krishna, it become a motion, it become a fixed motion, a fixed picture in our mind. Hare Krishna. When we become pure to that level that Krishna, when we chant Krishna, it becomes fixed motion in our hearts. When we continue to chant, that fixed picture will start moving, become a pastime. You can see, you can enter into this lila. Just like in the olden days, the TV, when you are trying to set it, you'll be going this here, you'll be going there. Sometimes it become a fixed motion. And then when you get a right signal, the motion will start moving. So the same thing also, when we are able to clean our heart and connect and tune to the spiritual frequency, everything will be revealed in the heart. And that is it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Shri Kavi. I think we have barely like 4 or so minutes. Anyone with any contribution? Otherwise, we'll give a formal closure. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to humbly request all the devotees to kindly unmute, and then we chant to make Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to our speaker today. His Grace KAVIKARNAPURA. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama,
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 Rama Hare Hare.
Mancha
Panchakalpatarubhyascha,
Krishna,
Kripa Sindhu
Vacha,
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo Namo
Namo
Namaha.
Namaha.
Sorry for not putting my children today.
Grace, Shriman, KAVIKARNAPURA Prabhu